I mentioned earlier about the permanent or destructive nature of doing Unity terrain manipulation, and so this is going to be a very important video on backing up and restoring your terrain in those cases. Um, so first of all, before you make any terrain changes, it's always good to back up. And then as you're backing up, every 10, 20 minutes, just do another backup. So how you do that is, first of all, you're going to come highlight whatever terrain you're going to make changes to. And 9 times out of 10, okay, it's going to be your inner terrain. We will have other terrains later on. Rarely are you going to manipulating your outer terrain. So let's talk inner terrain. And if we go back up here to terrain backup, really simple. We're just going to do create terrain backup. And as long as we had our inner highlighted, it should come in here and this screen should pop up. And we can just select all the defaults here and it's going to give it a name. And what I like to do is this is going to give a timestamp. And then I'm also just kind of put a short description in here. And I'm just going to say uh, baseline backup because essentially this is the first backup that we're doing and I haven't made any changes. So I'm going to call it, if I ever want to get back to this terrain, it's my baseline. It's the very beginning. I know if I go back to my baseline backup, it's back to square one, all my changes, prior to any changes. So I do create backup and you can see it's going to save our height map. It's going to actually do, if we add any additional terrains over here, it'll save those as well. If we add any textures and stuff, and it's done. So we close that, and now we have a backup. And now if we go and we make some changes, and I'll show you how to do these things later on, but let's do a couple changes here. Let me just this really quick, and then you can see I'm gonna making some crazy changes here, right? That was bad. Okay, so that was something I probably don't want to do. Same thing here. Oh gosh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm messing up my entire project, right? Oh, look at that. So I really have a mess here. Now let's put another change over here, another change here. Now if I hit edit, undo height map edit, it did the last one until I left click, and I might be able to undo a couple of these changes. But eventually it's not going to let me do any more changes. Yeah, see, now all these other ones I did prior, they're permanent and I can undo this. And if I had not done a backup, I would essentially had to restore my height map from my LiDAR, package and really kind of start a lot of this over again. But if I go up here to terrain backup and I do restore terrain, you can see that I have a picture of my backup here along with its name. Now you can see that I put baseline in here. And I think if I don't know if I can change the size of this now to see more of that name. Um, but I can select this one. It's the only one I have in here now, and I can do restore terrain. And now what it's going to do is it's going to take that height map, all my texture maps, and everything I did. And if I close this, whew, all those changes are now gone, and I have everything back to normal. So make it a habit as you're going through here and you're making terrain changes. Before you make terrain changes, do a backup. Other thing you can do is you can go up here, and if you have like a ton of backups, you can start to delete them. So I could hit that X and I can delete. I don't like to delete my baseline. That's my very first one. But let's say you've got 20 or 30 backups. You might just want to come in here once in a while and delete those because you're not most likely not going to use them.